for Senate. This will be the second time in a row that a congressman has been sort of the premier ticket holder in the biggest race. In this case, last time the governor. Well, the person that was congressman last time lost by 20 percentage points. How are you going to avoid the fate of Kenny Holsoph in this race?
Yeah, I think 2010, first of all, is going to be a substantially different year than 2008. Secondly, I've been elected to statewide office a couple of times. One of the problems in a state as big as ours, if the only people that know you are the people in 1/9 of the state, it's awfully hard in 7 months, which is the length of that campaign, to close that gap. I think it's a different situation. We've got a different length of campaign here. I've been elected to statewide office before. I carried I carried 110 of Missouri's 115 counties when I was re-elected Secretary of State. And I look forward to using this 20 months to talk to the people of Missouri, not about just the slogans of, hey, you're a member of Congress, Congress is bad, but about what the American people need to be thinking about, what Missourians need to be thinking about, and the difference in candidates in the general election, and those differences are going to be substantial.
Congressman, we're already hearing rumblings out of Washington that you are going to be painted as a Washington insider. Tom DeLay's name will come up. You and Tom DeLay are very close. Tom DeLay's name is not very good right now in the United States. Whether it should be or not is immaterial. You're being painted as being someone who's close to Tom DeLay. How are you going to combat that? Whether it's fair or not, how are you going to fight against that?
Again, I don't think that has the legs to run 20 months. I served in the Congress with Tom DeLay, the leadership of Tom DeLay, he's a person of lots of skills, and he was a person who was able, as a leader in the Congress, to see a House of Representatives that passed a tax cut every year he was the leader. This is not about Tom DeLay's record. It's not even about the past. Now, my challenge to you would be, as members of the media, you can talk about that if you want. You can play the Washington insider game there, which is being said in Washington, or you can help me talk about the future. I'm prepared to talk for as long as anybody in this room has time, sometime during the next 20 months, about jobs, about taxes, about health care, about energy. And I'm prepared to go anywhere the Democrat candidate for Senate is to talk about those things for as long as they want to talk about it.
Let me ask you about the future then. How concerned are you that Sarah Steelman in the future might get into the race and challenge you for the GOP nomination?
Let me say this about Sarah. I think there are only about a dozen Republicans in the last 30 years that have figured out how to win a statewide office in Missouri. So I think every one of them, including Sarah, have value. If I thought Sarah could win the Senate race, and who knows where I'd be on that, but I think I'm the best candidate. If she runs, I just think that the race that lasted for however long it lasted last time won't have the resilience for this time. The politics of just trying to talk about slogans instead of the future will not be the politics of 2010.
Congressman, have your folks made any overtures to Sarah Steelman, anybody else, about avoiding a primary campaign?
I've talked to Sarah and David a number of times over the last month. I've talked to Jim Talent a number of times over the last month. I intend to continue to do that. I think it's a race we win if we all come together, and we've got plenty of time for that to happen.
Is it important that the Republican Party this time avoid a primary battle?
I don't think if there is a primary, it'll be the same primary we had last time. I think we have enough time to make this a primary about issues. I believe my view on those issues and my record on those issues is where Missourians are. I'm not going to run away from being somebody who could be effective from day one. I've tried to be as transparent as you could possibly be on my voting record as a member of Congress. In fact,